If you've lost weight before and then put it back on, gone through that cycle a number of times, like a lot of people have, you're probably at a point where you know what to do. It's just that you're not doing it. Why is that? Why do we do that? It's such a common cycle that we go through. What is it that keeps us in this pattern? The first thing is ideas can change your life. If someone, for example, they're doing well, they're doing so well on their diet, they're following it perfectly, they're training well, and then they have one bad weekend, that experience, how they process and filter that experience psychologically is going to determine whether they stay in the game or whether they quit. If someone says, oh no, I've ruined everything, I had a bad meal, I didn't do well today, and that means that I'm failing and it's wrecked my progress and I've just completely ruined it all. Those feelings are going to create a set of actions that are going to moving in the complete opposite direction, and then it's going to create those negative results and a whole new trajectory in their lives. But if someone is just interpreting their experience, I had a bad meal, I felt lazy today, I didn't work out, it's part of the process. It's just part of the process. When someone sees it as just part of the journey, you have good days, you have bad days, but you just keep going, you keep moving on. They've interpreted their experience as part of the process, then they're going to have emotions that inspire them to stay with it. That's going to create new, different results and obviously a different life at the end of it. Ideas are important. Ideas can change your life. And that's why it's important to consume good ideas. Listening to videos like this, learning the things that are going to help you interpret your experience. It's not just any information. It's not just any ideas. If it's not helping you filter your experience and create emotions that are going to help you, then you're just wasting your time. Especially even if it's those interesting facts, they might even demotivate you. Right? Every piece of information you get is creating an emotion. It will demotivate you if you think, oh, well, I should do that. And that way of working out, that diet, that would be so much better. It's like, but I just can't really be bothered doing it. It's not going to help. That's why the primary question is not like, would this work? Is this the best thing to do? It's, will this work? Will I do it? Am I actually going to do this? It's a psychological question, not a biological question. What is it that would create the most fat loss? Like, knowing that isn't going to help you implement it. It's a useless bit of information if it demotivates you and then you end up doing nothing. You just feel guilted about the whole thing. It's like, you have to be where you are, meet yourself with the skills and resources you have, and realistically, are you going to do it? Will I do this? Not would it work, but will it work? Am I actually going to do it? After 3 decades of being in this weight loss game, for personally and professionally, that is the one thing that really shines out to me that I've realized over and over, is that this is more a psychological game than it is a biological game. Really, it just doesn't matter whether something, oh yes, of course this diet would work. It doesn't matter that it would work, because most people aren't going to do it. That's why I don't spend a lot of time talking about all these diet techniques and tricks, and because I'm always thinking to myself, is someone actually going to do this? And it's not like, could they do it? Anyone could do anything. And then just ignoring the fact that this is horribly annoying to do, that makes it a useless thing. It doesn't matter that if it's only going to be the 1% of people who are just ultra motivated, and there's no point even talking about doing this amazingly scientifically sound program, because how many people are really going to do it? Factoring in the psychology of decision making, of sustainable change, the smartest systems do think about this stuff. And one thing that I did originally when I lost 30 kilos 30 years ago was Weight Watchers, and I've always admired the way that the system was made. For example, in the later version of the points system, like, fruit was 0 points. And that wasn't because fruit is 0 points or 0 calories. It's just because if people felt that they had the freedom to consume fruit, then hopefully they're not going to be eating the chocolate instead. And it gave them a sense of freedom and movement in the program, because I can eat as much as I want of this. And then, hopefully if they're eating like 100 bananas a day, then they're still going to put on weight. But but it was a way of trying to direct people with the psychology in mind. And there's a sense that, look, I'm not restricted here. I can have as much as I want. It's going to contain that psychology that tends to derail people. When you're feeling restricted, you just want to get out of it. Very important to make sure that you continue to consider the psychology of any program you choose, any training routine, any diet. Am I actually going to do this? Of course, a lot of the time, what you're actually going to do is going to get much slower results than the promised, 8 weeks and you'll all of your dreams will come true. That is unrealistic, right? And also there's no consideration of how to maintain that, right? So you'd be so burnt out by that process you want to break, and then, I'll get back into it when I'm ready. And then it's years before you're ready. That happens so often. There's these programs that make you invest way too much in it. You completely burn out and you reverse everything. So that's taking into consideration the fact that psychologically, is this going to burn me out? And if it is, then it's not worth doing. It's not a long-term solution. You have to factor in that psychology. And I don't really see a lot of people talking about that. There probably is an option that's not as good, but is something you're actually going to do. And that's the better option then. And you've got to be okay with that. Because, if you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it. So it's useless. So the takeaway from this is to be successful in your weight loss efforts, in your efforts to improve your body and your life, seeking out good ideas, seeking out ideas that help motivate you to keep going and to make those choices consistently. That is what needs to be considered. It's not, is this the most scientifically wonderful thing to do? It's, is this going to help me stay in the game? That's the only thing that matters, because it's a lifelong game. So in the spirit of everything we've spoken about today, I've got the videos on the stages of change and the 4 agreements, and these are really going to help you to implement all of what we were just talking about and really help you improve your life. And subscribe and like and keep watching. See you later.